Hello to all you Patriots out there in podcast land, and welcome to episode 197 of Canadian Patriot Podcast, the number one live podcast in Canada. We're recording on October 7th, 2019.
Dave.
This is the part where we read our intros.
All right, I'm there. My name's Dave, competitive shooter, hunter, match director, and Instagram babe.
Wow, never heard that description before. All right,
my name is Ian. The spot.
Yeah. My name is Ian. I'm a sports shooter and hobby farmer on Vancouver Island.
As always, my name is Andrew. I normally go at the end, but apparently we're editing the show notes while we do this for real. I'm a recovering libertarian, soon to be an extremely right-wing conservative if we could just find one in this fucking country. Competitive shooter and a firearms instructor.
All right, I'm Marty, hunter, sport shooter in rural Southern Ontario, and live show note editor.
Someone's got to tell me when Marty's finished.
He's finished. Go.
I'm Benny. I'm into guns.
Shit.
This is going to be a long episode. We'd love to hear your feedback about the show. Please send your hate mail to CanadianPatriotPodcast.com/feedback or email us directly, feedback@CanadianPatriotPodcast.com. You can find the show on the internet.
You can check the podcast out on Facebook.com/CanadianPatriotPodcast and Instagram at Instagram.com/CanadianPatriotPodcast.
We need your help to support the show. Visit patreon.com/CPP and become a patron. You can get a better quality version of the show for just $1 per episode.
No, you can't.
The better the rewards are. Show you're not a communist. Buy a CPP t-shirt for just $19.99 plus shipping and theft. Visit CanadianPatriotPodcast.com homepage and follow the link on the right.
Should we explain quickly why Benny is asking for like updates as to what I talk or not?
He can't.
Sure. Benny's audio's fucked.
Right. Yeah, so Benny didn't pay for the full free version of the of this app, and so he can only hear 3 other panelists at a time. So the fourth panelist,
I have no idea what he's saying.
So it's gonna be like charades, but better.
Except I have no video either.
Neither of you have. This is going to be a long. All right, it's time for my favorite episode. What are we drinking? Wait, no, 5-segment episode, etc. Drinking rum, because I'm a motherfucking pirate. Ian, what are you drinking?
Oh, Ian, go ahead.
Unfortunately, I'm drinking Juan Valdez's finest caffeinated beverage tonight. It's black, like Trudeau's makeup.
I do enjoy a good Trudeau joke. Benny, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Gatorade. Got a no-eat day on Wednesday. Or drink. So.
Sounds rough.
It's 25 hours in synagogue. Yeah.
Shit.
Dave, what are you drinking? Was that a White Claw?
No, I'm just drinking Michelob's. You know, I got to keep that Instagram babe figure going, so. Locale.
Can you humor the old guy and tell me what Instagram babe is?
I'm just on Instagram trying to get all the follows. Maybe eventually hook up some free stuff. I think that's what they try to do.
Okay.
It helps if you show off your body.
Yeah. We're not there yet.
I think people pay me extra to not show my body, I think.
or that way. We can go that way too.
Yeah,
whatever works, man. As long as I get free stuff. Marty, what are you drinking, buddy?
I have the official beer, the Coors Banquet.
Fantastic choice. Let's do the news.
Okay. Am I echoing?
No more than usual.
We're not going here?
Because
the best part is that Marty. You don't get the Marty jokes. Oh, you can hear Marty? That's great. Let's do the news anyway. Welcome to Canadian Patriot Podcast, the number one live place where we troubleshoot Benny's IT problem. No, but really, the news.
The news.
Fearing violence, the RCMP are closely watching hateful online election chatter. And I'd like to welcome to our listeners from the Queen's Cowboys.
I was going to say, they must be watching
Bill,
us closely.
Ted, how you doing?
Yeah, I guess the downloads are going to take a jump.
So this is on the CBC. Do we have hot takes before I give my colorful commentary?
You ever?
All right, so the RCMP are compiling daily threat lists of people that are making threats against the government. Honestly, I'm not even sure how you would classify this differently than any other day. Apparently, Trudeau is a target of a lot of these threats because this is news.
Because he deserves all of it? Did I say that out loud?
Depends on what they define as a threat, though. That's what gets me.
Yeah, I know. Like calling
Well,
him like a clown or a cuck. Is that a threat or is that just?
I don't know. The
It
RCMP
seems
won't
like the
reveal their.
words. It seems like the concern, at least according to this one portion of this article, is that it's the terms like treason and traitor that are of particular concern. And
Well,
and
I
I
guess we
I would tend to agree. I'm also of concern when my prime minister is a treasonous traitor.
I mean, truth hurts.
Yeah,
but bro,
that specific language comes from the previous clerk of the Privy Council, Michael Wernick. This was going back to early this year. There was concerns about this election cycle being dialed all the way up to 11 for rhetoric. So the RCMP is using keywords associated with party leaders' names when those words could lead to assassination. That's right. Assassination is now the result of words on the internet.
Huh. Weird.
gone
Somebody
full
used the word
circle.
buffoon to start with, but I mean, go down the
Traitor
list.
is not a bad choice.
Traitor's not a bad choice at all. I just kind of laughed when they said, as the incumbent leader, Trudeau is a lightning rod for hateful threats, but it has nothing to do with him being the incumbent leader. It's just the fact is he's a really bad leader.
He's a liar and
He's just
about things above the law, and I think people are completely sick of it and are most. I'd say the majority of this country is seeing through most of that lying and deceitfulness, right? I don't know.
It's only because he's dropped the ball in the last 4 years that he's a lightning rod now because people know how bad he is. It's
I mean, it's been a roller coaster, especially this year. 2019 has been a real good year on the other side of the fence for stuff blowing up in Trudeau's face, as politically speaking and scandal speaking, not in a literal sense, but yeah.
I think if the Liberal Party has one special power, it's avoiding dealing with these kinds of events. Trump joked about how he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. The Liberal Party could probably do the same in Canada.
Not only could they get away with it, it wouldn't even be reported.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
600 million reasons why it wouldn't be reported.
Yeah, I want my money.
I also love that
the government still hasn't given me money.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they're talking about that they're scanning both closed chat rooms and the quote dark web.
Well, so that's the part that I wanted to get to. That was where I was going.
Are we dark?
Well,
can we just call it Tor? Do we really need to keep calling it the dark web?
Well, I mean,
no, I think we need
consider 4chan like probably dark web.
Well,
dark web is
to call it the dark web.
Well, people like me who are completely IT inept, dark web, I know what that is. As in it's internet, I have no idea what it is.
Do you though?
Like you download a special browser.
Right, like I deal with computers all the time, and I know what the dark web is, and it's a giant pain in the ass, and there's nothing worth visiting on it.
See, I'm learning parties like you got to download a browser, whatever that is. And I'm kidding. I know what a browser is, but like most people don't know what that is. It's just something you see on TV cop shows where it's like they're on the dark.
Just
web.
like
I want to go down
what it is.
Tor.
Just call it Tor.
Cool. So for security reasons, the RCMP won't publicly comment on their tactics, but they also say that they're using keyword searches based on certain keywords like treason and traitor and the names of the leaders of our various federal parties. And they're passing on information based on things like users' IP addresses and whether or not the author of the statements is located close enough to the campaign to pose a threat. So what we can glean from this is use a VPN. If you don't know what a VPN is, Benny, You should go on the internet
and
and
Shapiro. I know what a VPN is.
well, go use a VPN because apparently that will outthink the RCMP.
Yep. Piece of cake.
NordVPN.
Yeah, but no. Private internet access. They don't keep the logs no matter how much you subpoena them. There's no data to turn over. I should probably get an affiliate code for that. It's a problem for future me when I'm more sober. But if that's the RCMP's tactic is keyword searching and using a list of IP addresses, well, they're not likely to catch very much. But the part that concerns me is how they're monitoring closed chat rooms. Also, that chat rooms are still a thing.
We're still like on MSN or something. I didn't know. I thought that was like a thing of the past, from like 20 years
MIRC, bud.
ago. Yeah.
If you're not on Usenet, are you even on the internet?
See, I don't even know what that one is.
Yeah.
I mean, I do Discord.
Actually, Usenet's still pretty awesome.
Usenet has gotten a lot more awesome lately. There was about 20 years where it wasn't, but that's beside
Yes,
the point.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Usenet is great again.
So the RCMP is targeting this. Naturally, the further to the left people are, the more they're concerned, deeply concerned by these things. Look at the NDP leader Singh as an example. People's lives are at risk, because of threatening rhetoric on the internet, I guess.
Clearly, they've never heard the term internet warrior.
Or keyboard warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be super worried about people on the internet.
No.
I'd be a lot more worried about people in real life, but I mean...
Can we talk about the homemade lawn sign?
We can definitely talk about the homemade lawn sign. Let me read the lawn sign. So, listeners, imagine if you will, a 3 foot by 1.5 foot sign, hand painted, black paint on hardboard. We shoot every third liberal. Second one just left. Oh my God, the sky is falling. This is in Canada Carleton riding near Ottawa, and they also have a Conservative Party sign on their lawn. Of course, the Ottawa police were called as a result of this sign.
Come on, it's funny. Funny, right? It's funny.
It is funny. It's a joke.
Thank you.
Obviously.
Come on.
Joke.
Relax.
It's clearly a joke.
But I know obviously nobody can take a joke, especially in the Ottawa area. So, for the most part,
At least put like a Green Party or NDP sign on your lawn.
or paint that green to make it look like it's a Green Party sign.
Yeah, just go. Don't half-ass it. Like you got to really
Full asset.
commit.
Yeah, give her 110%. If you're gonna be a clown, like go all the way. But there was another one in Alberta. I don't know if we're looking at that one tonight too.
Tell us about the one in Alberta. I don't have it in the notes.
The one in Alberta where it's got a little crosshairs over Justin's head or face, whatever you want to call it. Saying he's next. But I mean, he is next. He's going. Everybody's had. I think at the very minimum, I don't think he's getting back in. Whether it's there's a minority government.
I'm still saying, and I've been saying this for months. Minority liberal government.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard to call because
Yeah.
there isn't like a single poll that's even
Truthful.
remotely that you can take. Yeah, that you could have any sort of faith in.
Exactly.
I'd say this around here. I've yet to see a liberal lawn sign.
I have seen a couple in town, but I mean, I've seen more NDP signs than liberal lawn
Yes, I
signs.
see-
Most of
see-
the liberal signs are at, like the public spaces where they have all of the signs.
I was going to say
There's
the same
the-
thing about PPC in the London area.
There's one in There's some in Milton too.
Oh, I've not seen a PPC either.
Well,
I've actually seen a PPC sign.
Yeah, they run it. They run in Halton, but
So there's
I mean,
there was a farm between Bright and London, or Inexkip, whatever.
There's a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
My God.
No, a farm.
Let's describe all of the parts of Southern Ontario that aren't Toronto. Yes, it's basically a farm.
I meant to say with a PPC sign. But the local candidate for PPC in North London, he was actually going to be the candidate for the Conservative Party, but apparently they parachuted someone in, and a couple people I've spoken to are voting PPC because he's not on. He's on that ballot. Part of that, whatever. This echo's killing me.
It's fine. It's London. It's going to go NDP anyway. Irene Matheson's kid's going to win because Irene Matheson won for like 20 years. So her kid's going to win now because, nepotism and stuff.
It's university town. Wherever there's universities, it's going to go NDP. Just like the provincial election. Or Guelph, like they went to Green Party. Only seat. But,
should we do another one? I've got Financial Post. Canada now dominates World Bank corruption list, thanks to SNC Lavalin. So that's right. We're number one, guys. Canada is on the list of corrupt places the World Bank won't do business with.
I mean, you got to be pretty goddamn corrupt for the World Bank to not want to do business with you.
I wonder if I can turn that on.
So what's that? Soundbite you got?
I used to have a button that would make me echo, but I can't find it now.
World Bank.
Thank you, Marty. That's the button I was looking for.
I just do it old school. Hello? Does that work?
Hello. Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Loud and clear, bro.
I meant the echo, but oh well.
No echo. I don't know where my echo button went either. I had an echo button, but I've misplaced it. So we're now on the list of like top offenders as Canadians because of SNC Lavalin, because of all of their subsidiaries in the US and other places. 117 companies out of the 250 that are on the list are affiliated with SNC Lavalin.
Crooked ass fuck.
That's good. Remember when we were a serious country that people wanted to do business with? I think that was about the time we had the third largest navy. I miss being a serious country.
We were pretty serious right up till about 2014 there. At least for a little while.
1965? 1967. What year was Trudeau in power and we got the new charter?
67.
67.
I have it sitting right
67?
here, actually.
So I'm going to go with we were a serious country until 1967.
1981.
That's the
Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
The right Charter of Rights and Freedoms is 1981.
What was Trudeau in charge of the first go round when we did integration of services and the flag, the integration of the armed services? There was a couple of other things that changed. We had an immigration policy change. Something happened in the 65 or 67.
So 60 was the Bill of Rights, but that was Diefenbaker.
Well, I can't say I particularly like him either, but that's not the point. So I was just excited that we made the list of places that the World Bank won't do business with. Well, SNC Lavalin subsidiary companies particularly, because they're corrupt as fuck.
And they got caught, so now like the gravy train's over.
Is it though?
I was gonna say,
I don't know. 10-year ban on World Bank projects. So the gravy train may not be over, but the gravy train won't be coming to the station anytime soon.
Yeah, it's not coming back
for bids. So whatever projects that they're currently working on, I'm sure they can continue.
That's right. It's new bids, but yeah, the
company that big needs
when
to keep
we were a serious country.
I remember we used to giggle at the corruption in Latin America, but I think they've got us beat now, or we've got them beat.
I'd say like
one.
On a dollar figure, possibly.
Ever consistent.
Yep.
SNC Lavalin, of course, had nothing to say to the Financial Post on this matter, which I find very entertaining. Like, they're not even going to try to defend themselves. They're just like, yeah, we're just not going to say shit.
Yeah, we know we're guilty as sin. There's no point in hiding it.
So without all those World Bank dollars, who's going to keep the Montreal Ladies of the Night employed?
Probably the federal government, same as usual.
Fair enough. They'll just have to route it through somebody else this time.
Yes.
I mean, Trudeau will be all over the 18 and under. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, that's not actually in the news yet, because apparently if you're the government, you can prevent the media from reporting on things.
Yeah. I mean,
Unless
we
they're
have to let the
American media.
I was gonna say, we have to let the American media do it for us.
Well, they've done one story so far.
What a load of. Oh my gosh.
But I have a button.
This has to be said with a healthy load of allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Allegedly. Allegedly.
That's
Wish
heavy.
you weren't so fucking awkward, bud.
Comments about our prime minister.
That's a good allegedly. That's what I appreciate about you.
Is that what you appreciate about me? All right, let's do another one. Globe and Mail. No, wait, that's wrong. Global News. Liberals defend using 2 campaign planes, calls Tory criticism a far-right tactic. So,
Hey, can somebody
before
sell
I
me
go
on...
into...
Sorry, can you
Go
guys
ahead.
sell me on carbon credits? How do those work exactly in your mind?
Well, before I go into carbon credits and the nonsense of this, I want to talk about this far-right tactic. A party that supports abortion and gay marriage and doesn't want to reduce my debt and doesn't really want to lower immigration. I'm confused about how the Tories are a far-right party and using far-right tactics.
And is telling the truth a far-right tactic?
Yes, there
Well,
you go.
only if you're a straight white man like Andrew Scheer
Ah, okay. Just checking.
or everyone on this panel.
I wonder if Greta knew before or after that he used 2 planes. I mean, I assume she would have
I really wish
slapped
I
him
had a
right
drop
across-
of her saying that. I really wish I had a drop of Greta saying that she was that we've stolen her future. I need to work on that.
How dare
Yeah,
you?
Yeah, how dare you? Like, I believe she would have slapped him square across the face had she known, right? I mean,
This would be the
right?
same girl that actually had people fly across the Atlantic a couple times each just to make sure they took care of her sailboat for her?
oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just checking.
And then her trains and her planes and her automobiles to get where she's going.
So let's talk about the far right tactic that is having a second plane. Why did they need a second plane? I mean, I understand that the prime minister said it was for cargo, but
For his outfit,
Why?
silly.
Costume.
That is a lot of costumes. Rainbow dills for all. I don't know.
I mean, it looked like a significant size plane from
It
what
was
I
like
saw in the picture.
Equally the same size, if not bigger.
It's a 737, isn't it?
Airbus,
It
yeah.
looked like a
wasn't it?
yeah. It looked like an
Yeah.
Airbus A320 to me, but
The A320?
in any the 320 and the 737 are about the same size. So regardless.
Yeah, but
The A320 is not a small plane. And
Are you thinking of a double decker?
How?
No, the interesting thing is that he's even used it as far as going from like Mirabel to Dorval Airport just to avoid traffic. So
Well, I mean-
Montreal to Montreal.
Montreal to Montreal.
Montreal flight.
He also did Montreal to Belleville to plant a singular tree. Which, you know,
I can
Showed up late, made
understand
kids
doing
wait in the rain.
the I can understand doing the Montreal to Montreal flight though. Have you driven that stretch of highway lately?
oh, it's ass. It's always
Yes,
ass.
because I can't afford to fly from Montreal
Right, but
to
if
Montreal.
you could, wouldn't you?
Just take the 30 on the bridge. You're fine.
So, yes, but I'm not the one preaching climate change.
Exactly.
Oh. Oh, it's,
See,
because
it's
of
okay
climate
if you're
change.
consistent. It's not okay if you're an asshole.
Okay, can I
Virtue
just
signaling asshole.
clarify for everyone at home? He flew in a plane, right? Not a helicopter.
A plane.
Large plane. Let's be
A
clear here.
fixed-winged aircraft as opposed to a rotary aircraft.
Like how many people can fit in a passenger version of that? Like at least 300, yes?
An
And no,
A320?
No.
I can probably answer this with some authority. Anywhere between 120 and 190, depending on the model, but I can pretty much guarantee it was the 146 person model.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, from the
Yeah.
pilot, everybody. So we're clear, pilot.
Allegedly.
Still, 150 people could fit on this plane. That's how big this
Allegedly.
plane is. This is not just your little, your little Learjet, little hop and a skip, 8-person seater. It's a large fuel sucking plane.
And if you look at the actual flight path he took, it wasn't like he went direct from one airport to the other like a helicopter would. It was a big old S shape.
Oh, you had to go over the top?
Well, you gotta see the sights, right?
And you got to do the traffic patterns, and yeah, it took a lot longer than flying straight. So.
Oh God.
Well, I don't know that we've often accused our prime minister of flying straight.
But I mean, the hypocrisy level has just like gone over 9,000 with this one.
But come on, he bought carbon offsets.
Yes.
Okay, so please
But
enlighten me.
Did
Somebody.
the money give him? Did he gave the money to himself then, or to the UN?
If you buy carbon credits, you'll make the climate gooder.
Yes.
So if you, how the carbon credits work, Ian? Because you seem to you're asking this question.
Okay, so
It's a
basically,
scam.
It's
If
a
I
lie.
pollute a lot,
Yep.
I give a bunch of money to the government.
and actually, or just a corporation. There's actually specific corporations you can buy carbon credits off of, and basically assuage your guilt with money. And basically, for some way or hocus pocus kind of means, what they do is they take your money and they make the environment better. Now they claim.
No. Well, that's not really part of it.
Oh, carry on.
People are idiots.
Yeah, it's you've taken it a step further than the program actually goes.
Yeah.
You pollute, you give the government money.
Bin.
That's done.
That's it.
That's the end of it.
Bin.
Yeah.
And
it goes to general revenue, and that's that. Or a corporation, a third-party corporation takes it. You can actually buy carbon credits out of third-party corporations to make yourself feel better.
And if Trudeau gets his way, we'll make the air even cleaner because we'll give it to the UN. Because they have special.
The government,
They have
the
even better-
government should not prop up a failed business.
or gathering of countries.
Yeah.
I.e. the UN, which stands to make trillions
Well,
off of this
we-
scheme. Trillions.
But we should also probably not allow these carbon offset companies like Bullfrog to exist.
Yeah. I mean, it's a complete and utter scam from the elite.
So you can basically dump nuclear waste in the ocean, but as long as you buy carbon credits to offset, you're good. Like,
Yeah, you're good, bro.
Yep.
Pollute
where does
on.
it end?
I mean, yes.
They see it
There's
ends.
probably some restrictions.
I mean, if it
But
ends,
also,
I don't
yeah,
think
when
that
people run out of money.
So I think they're only care about carbon. So I can dump all the nuclear waste in the ocean I want as long as I don't release carbon dioxide.
Yes, agreed.
That's true.
So you don't need to buy the carbon offsets for the nuclear waste. You're good to go with that.
Yeah, carry on. Business as per usual.
Just thought you needed some fresh air, even if that air is filled with the foul stench of European socialism.
Too true. Too true. Yeah, it's
We
it's
should
a
really get
scam
him on
at the
podcast.
highest level. Sorry, what was that, Marnie? I kind of cut you off there.
So we should really get him on the podcast.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Apparently, he's actually left-leaning. Sadly.
Hang on a second. A Hollywood actor is left-leaning?
I know.
He's probably the only one.
Yeah.
Gotta be an outlier.
You've really-
Gotta be an outlier.
But for such an iconic conservative,
I know it's like it must like burn every soul of his being to say those lines. Then
well, he
So
knows
I think
he's gonna
that,
be a
like,
very
they
popular
thought-
character. It's
Yeah,
a
like
consistent
they
thing.
thought that they were being comedic and like making fun of the right. And we're like, fuck yeah.
yeah, no. No, that's pretty much me on a fucking Sunday,
Just-
bro.
There's actually a thing
Slash.
where, like,
Slash.
the more conservative a
Slash.
movie is,
Slash.
the better it does.
Pretty much.
All right, let's do another one. CBC article. We'll let Ron read this one.
Slash it. Slash it. Slash it. Slash it.
Scheer promises to slash foreign spending by 25%.
Not
Conservatives
nearly
say they
enough.
would cut out middle and upper income countries as well as hostile regimes. Again, if we had an actual right wing political party in this country, we would just stop giving our money to people who are not Canadian. But we don't have an actual right-wing party in this country.
I mean, 25%. I mean, I guess he's trying to make it so that he's kind of like not trying to keep I guess, the left-leaning people like happy. But 25%, in my opinion, is still too much, or not enough. Not enough.
It is not enough, and it is pandering. And they said that they're not going to impact programs for women and abortions and UNESCO studies for education
trying to win
in
an
Iran. And yeah,
understand.
But also, we don't have money to give to other countries because we have a giant deficit.
So that's what I was going to say. I'm like, I'm not even opposed to some amount of foreign aid, like in certain circumstances.
I am,
but only if we are not running a deficit. Like if we there's no reason for us to be borrowing money to give to somebody.
Give away. Yeah. What the fuck does that like? That just doesn't even.
That doesn't make any sense.
No.
But I mean, come on, guys, it only took 25 years, and Rwanda is now the shining jewel of Africa.
I'm not sure
no, wait, that's actually not true. I'm being completely sarcastic, but that's what the CBC would lead you to believe, that all of a sudden it's taken 25 years after everyone in Rwanda tried to kill everyone else in Rwanda, and now it's like the shining jewel of Africa, which is a complete falsehood. Have you heard about Rwanda in the news lately? They still try to kill one another there.
Would you go to fucking Rwanda for a vacation? Hell no.
I mean, depends.
Hang on. People go on vacation, but I have been to Africa. And
what is the shining jewel of South Africa?
Rhodesia.
Well, that's not South Africa. That's Rhodesia. But it would.
Well, I think Marty meant Africa and said South Africa.
Sorry,
but
sorry, yeah. Sorry,
and I'm still going with Rhodesia for an answer.
Yeah, the one place in Africa you can stay in your home with barbed wire and have a slightly smaller chance of being raped and killed.
I thought it was everything.
I'm just saying Rwanda might be the shining jewel.
I need a drop for that. Where's somebody get me a Wakanda drop immediately.
I'd have to actually watch that movie to find the drop.
I'm just gonna get a YouTube. It'll be fine.
I was gonna say that's what I'm doing right now.
So, I mean, part of this is like the UN target of 0.7% of countries' GDP to give to developing nations or whatever. Also, hard pass.
Pile more shootings, and there's no area of the GTA that isn't affected by it. But
playing? Sorry.
What is playing? Why is it doing this?
Because you put a YouTube link in the show notes.
Wish you weren't so fucking awkward, bud.
I accidentally clicked on the tab that had that page open. And
congratulations, you played yourself. Figuratively and literally.
One of the classic blunders, that and starting a land war in Asia. Also, somebody should totally get me some Princess Bride drops.
That'd be
okay, you're on your own now.
Inconceivable.
You're asking for more than I can give now.
Wait, I think I actually have that one.
That's not a thing.
That's not a thing. No, that's not the right one.
Not quite.
So, I'm not sure why the UN target is 0.7% of our GDP, because that's money that we could literally use for anything else. We're not meeting that target. We're at like 0.3% of our GDP going to other countries, which is 0.3% of my GDP more than I would like to be giving to literally anyone else.
I mean, obviously they don't care what our economy is doing right now, which is basically, I would say, a stagnation. I know it's slightly up in Ontario, but on the west side, it's on the way down. So,
the whole country is on the way down. This is not a good. We need to stop giving money that we don't have to people that are not Canadians.
100%.
Which, I mean, like, it sounds harsh, which I'm sure is the whole like soundbite that when I get indicted for this podcast is going to be what I get to listen to repeatedly in a courtroom. But we shouldn't be giving money that we don't have to countries that are not Canada. We don't have the money.
Especially
Stop.
we can't even take care of our own domestic problems. I mean, want to talk about homeless or all the other people that we're supposed to be pandering to and taking care of.
Clean water on native reservations?
Yeah, but I mean, she didn't pay the $1,500 entrance fee, so you can't listen to her. So, but no, I mean, seriously, yeah, we've got so many internal problems. Why would you spend money outside of the country until you solve those and paid off your debt?
Right, and that's my thing. Like, if the government were a business, the government would have been sold. Like, we wouldn't be able to operate them as a business. If the government was a household, they wouldn't have a home. These people should not be in power. Take that to mean what you think it will mean, dear RCMP listener.
No one's watching the watchers. It's a real problem. Because who's going to say that a politician who overspends should be held accountable for overspending?
But they're not. And in 4 years, we're just going to change it to someone who spends differently. And this is my complaint. Scheer's thing does not go far enough. Yes, we're going to slash foreign aid by 25%. Why are we not slashing foreign aid by 100%?
Yeah.
At least half.
But even at 25%, this is being reported very critically.
Yeah, like, oh my God, that's so much money. Like
right,
oh my God, so much money we don't have.
Money to people who are not Canadian, who are not paying into our system, who do not live in this country, who do not have citizenship here. People who are literally, and I know this is harsh, not my problem.
But the problem is the way our current voting population is. This is as much as he could possibly go with still having a chance of actually winning this election.
Yeah, well, you know what? Fuck Toronto.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like, this is the issue that we have, is that, if there was, someone that actually came in and said, like, this is what we need to do to save this country, they don't have a chance in hell of being elected.
No, we don't even have a right-wing party in this country. This is so soft that it's like, this is 10-ply, bud.
Like, even if you look at what Maxine was proposing, it's still not even close. Like, it's not even it's 10% off of Scheer's.
Yeah,
and they're calling that like radical, and he's got no chance because he's such a radical.
Slash it.
Like, if you look at his immigration numbers, it means like 1 million new people in 5 years instead of 4 years or something like that. Like, it's not that big of a difference, really.
It's not, and I can appreciate that with the People's Party because it's libertarianism and it is center. I don't agree with it, and libertarians in this country, Marty, you remember that time we went to the bar and we met the libertarians? These people are why I'm not a libertarian anymore. But also,
what exactly will you be cutting? And how much of it? And can I watch you do it while eating pork cracklings?
That's a good one.
Shall we do another one? From the Toronto Sun. Trudeau promises national prescription drug plan if re-elected.
Sounds cheap.
Don't we have that? I'm pretty sure we have one of these.
I keep hearing how drugs are so cheap up here.
Yeah.
No, I think we currently subsidize the costs, or at least we don't allow the markup to happen here. But most companies offer an extended coverage of prescription drugs, but not everybody has that.
It's covered for kids up to a certain age, and then like seniors over a certain age. But otherwise, you need to have a benefits plan for your
Wait, so like literally anyone that has a full-time job?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I see.
But but it's covered by your employer as sort of a tax on your labor.
Yeah, I mean, it's cheap though.
It's almost like he's pandering to people that don't have a full-time employer
or want to work.
What? The liberals are pandering to someone who doesn't want to work?
All a liberal voter hears is free medication. I don't have to pay for that. They don't think that either they're already paying for it, or B, they're already not paying for it because they are get one of the other plans that don't make them pay.
My favorite part of this is that the Liberal plan involves implementing a national list of drugs to be covered by the program and establishing the Canadian Drug Agency to make purchasing of medication more efficient and affordable. Because you know what my interaction with every interaction with government I've ever had is wow, that was a completely painless process, and I would love more government intervention in my fucking life.
Please, sir, I want some more.
You know, I think it was you. You initially made a comment about like how inexpensive this is going to be to the taxpayer. It's so inexpensive that despite promising $100 billion of additional debt, $0 of it is allocated towards this promise of prescription drug plan. So apparently, it's not going to cost government any money because they budgeted $0 for it.
Oh, it's not going to cost the federal government any money because part of this promise hinges on Trudeau's ability to negotiate with the premiers. Because who would be better served to negotiate with people like Doug Ford, the madman of Ontario, than someone like Drama Boy?
Isn't he having a whole bunch of problems with the carbon tax?
Who, Ford or Trudeau? Because there's
Trudeau.
a lot of problems with the carbon tax.
So, like, if this guy can't get his tax implemented, what it makes him think he's going to get the government, the provinces to pay for this medication plan?
You get some drugs, and you get some drugs.
It's
and you get
probably
some drugs.
his luxurious locks and stylish socks.
Yeah,
I think the better answer is he has no intention of this actually getting through. It's a campaign promise that he does.
This is a campaign
plan
promise
to
that won't be
deliver on.
met. Fuck this guy.
Well, it'll be met, but I got a massive loss. He's just going to borrow more money. I mean,
no, this is not even going to go anywhere. They're not going to waste.
This isn't going anywhere. We're
not
going to end up
budgeted in
building
anything they've done.
We're going to end up building a whole new agency. It's going to cost hundreds of billions of dollars, and it's not going to get us sweet diddly fuck all.
Yeah.
I mean,
he is not going to try to negotiate with Doug Ford. There's no way this guy enters a room with Doug Ford. He is going to send like one of his female
lackeys,
one of his female cabinet members. He's going to throw them in there and have them try and deal with it, and then reassign them when they don't get what he wanted.
Sorry, Christina Freeland, you got to talk to Dougie.
Have fun in the backbench.
Gonna teach you how to Dougie.
You know, the Canadian Drug Agency sounds like a fun place to work, but then I think about the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Agency down in the States. It's not nearly as fun as you would think either. So, I don't know.
The Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms thing should be a store, not a government agency, and I kind of feel like the Canadian Drug Agency ought to be the same thing. You get some weed, and you get some weed. 10 bushels of weed for everyone. What? No, what? It's still illegal? Yeah, that's rather the point.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I once learned that a bushel of marijuana was a lot of marijuana. You can listen to that in our back catalog.
It is a fair amount of marijuana. That would last quite a long time. Not talking from experience. Cowboys.
All right, let's do another global news article. Canadians with longer commutes to work are more likely to lean conservative. This is from an Ipsos Reid poll. Also, this is complete and utter nonsense because they couldn't even be bothered to survey 1,500 Canadians. But let's assume for a moment, imagine, if you will,
they were 11 short.
1,500 Canadians. Well, 1,500 Canadians answered the survey. And if you commute more than 10 kilometers to work, you're likely to vote conservative because you own a fucking car and you go to work.
Yeah, you have bills and you have a real job. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry.
So let me just see on the pen. I commute more than 10 kilometers. Ian commutes more than 10 kilometers. Benny commutes more than 10 kilometers. Dave commutes more than 10 kilometers. Marty commutes more than 10 kilometers. And I'm not going to paint everyone with the same brush because I don't wear blackface. But if I were going to, I would say that we are all rather centrist to right wing individuals,
leaning one
people
way
who would
more
be
than another.
inclined to
It seems to
live
me
conservative.
we should get one vote in the election per 10 kilometers that we drive to work.
And so for those that don't work, don't commute, so no votes.
How many? How would you even calculate that for Ian? He's a pilot. It's like hundreds and thousands of kilometers.
No, my commute's actually 26 miles.
Yeah, one
Miles?
would argue his commute from his home to the
Airport?
Yeah,
I suppose.
would be his commute.
26 miles?
Yeah, across the strait of Georgia.
So if someone drives truck but parks in their driveway, they're screwed.
I mean, I suppose I see Benny's point, but also I want to live in this fantasy world where 1,500 Canadians being surveyed is like a statistical meaningful value, which it's not because, science. But let's pretend 1,500 Canadians is like a statistically meaningful value for the purposes of this argument. Because if you commute by car, you're like 72% of the population, whereas people that commute by transit live in fucking Toronto. I mean, are 17% of the population.
See, that's the thing though too with this. I mean, go to a go station in Milton. There's at least 1,500 people that are commuting from Milton to Toronto.
Bro, nobody at the Milton GO station walks to the Milton GO station or gets out of their bed in the morning and is at the Milton GO station. Those people all drive there.
Except my father, but he's pretty close.
Okay, so
he's conservative as
found
fuck.
the exception to the rule.
To the rule, yes. And he's conservative as fuck.
Also, shout out to Al. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, buddy.
So what I can gather from this is people who own cars and have to commute to the place they work because they don't want to live in a hellhole like Toronto are more likely to vote conservative.
Go figure.
Shocking.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder how much money they spent on this little survey. They pay people to actually carry this out?
I would hope that Ipsos does this as an automated thing, but if they don't, hey, get in touch with the show. I can help you. Seriously, I can write a small script to replace your call center.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's hit the
Apparently,
last one.
this is accurate to within plus or minus 2.9 percentage points 19 times out of 20.
Wait, once more?
Right.
2.9
Feels like this works.
percentage points?
19 times out of 20.
2.9%.
So 5% of the time, it works.
That's what I got out of this. Is it's
Yeah,
5% accuracy. But okay, I've been drinking rum, so I mean, maybe my math is wrong.
It's somewhat.
But also, just call that a 5% margin of error. And also, it's a statistically insignificant number because the sample size is less than 1,500. There's 30 million people that live in this country. Use realistic sample sizes to generalize about your population. But hey, I only have a math degree. It's fine. It's not like I know about statistics.
You'd almost think that they would need to segment this based on regionality.
I was gonna say
location. How far somebody commutes in Alberta might be different than how far someone commutes in Ontario.
I actually really doubt it. I really strongly doubt it. I bet people that live in Calgary vote like communists the same way that people live in Toronto vote like communists.
It's almost like people who depend on others to take care of them like to stick with other people.
Fair.
I mean, yes.
Large urban centers are going to vote towards a government that's going to use the collective to take care of the collective rather than having personal responsibility be what takes people through life.
Can we go back a few minutes in the show because I missed a comment in YouTube and I want to read this thing from Fractured. I would be perfectly fine with giving the CBC's funding to quote foreign aid (parentheses meaning mercenaries).
Comment of the night, sir. Good job.
We could always start our own.
I would doff my fedora had I had one.
I got an extra if you want.
There, you get a hat tip.
Yeah.
I saw that. It was very accurate, but we had moved
Well
on already.
played. Well played. I missed that. I'm sorry. Let's do one more. We've got an article from the London Free Press. Accused in downtown London shooting was under court-ordered weapons ban. Court documents. Let me read that once more, but slowly. Accused in downtown London shooting was under court-ordered weapons ban. It's almost like criminals don't follow the flipping law.
I was gonna say, but there's a law that said he can't have one.
How dumb are the police here? Why would they
Well,
accuse this guy who's obviously innocent because he was under a court-ordered weapons ban? He couldn't have weapons.
It was impossible. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking police.
But it was illegal. How did he get the gun? We told him no.
Marty has
he can't
fallen
have
victim
one.
to one of the classic blunders.
That's right. Well, you know, if this law, the previous prohibition law failed, we should just add more laws because they'll definitely work.
One of the comments.
Why the hell is this guy out on bail?
Suggested that the judge who let him out should actually have him at his house, and if he breaks bail, whatever it's called, they demolish his house. I think that's a good rule.
Oh, he just loses his whatever his equivalent the bar is. He just loses his lawyer's license. Get out of here.
Judgeship.
His
I don't know what it is.
Whatever you want to call it in Canada. I don't know what you call it.
His funny hat.
Yeah. Yeah. And his stupid little thing there, the ribbon.
I gotta say, a $1,500 bail seems pretty light.
I know. I mean, he could sell like.
So I guess background story. Dude had 5 charges: possession of oxycodone, shot some dudes. This is in Richmond Row. So this is like downtown London. In like Richmond Row is where all the bars are downtown, not far from the University of Western Ontario. So this is like party central.
Yeah.
So Buddy decided to go and shoot something up, fired 7 rounds, hit a couple of people, put them in critical condition, and then got out on $1,500 worth of bail.
Probably found the guy that stole his bushel of weed and then shot him up.
Oh no, a bushel of oxycodone, not a bushel of weed.
Apologies. Yes.
He was probably just turning his life around, guys. Just cut him some slack here, okay?
So like one.
Well, it was London. He was likely enrolled as a doctor at the UWO.
Probably
upstanding school.
But the good news is he only has to sell a little more oxy and he can pay off that bail, no problem.
I was just going to say that was my next point. He probably has to sell just a fraction of that bushel to get that $1,500, and he's free as free as he can go.
Yep.
Or alternatively, we could just stop letting criminals out of jail.
You're racist.
That's crazy. Stop talking so crazy. So crazy.
Racist. I'm relatively certain when I Google this guy's name, I'm going to get a picture of a white dude.
But Andrew, we're trying to save money.
His first name is Elias.
People out of the...
His first name is Elias. I'm going with this is a white dude.
Well, Andrew, we're trying to save money by getting him out of the system as fast as possible.
Oh, okay. So capital punishment's back on the table.
We all wish.
No, but for real though, drug dealers, pedophiles, rapists, murderers. I'm okay with capital punishment for certain crimes in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've had capital punishment longer than we haven't in Canada. So there's that.
Well, that's because we were a serious country for longer than we haven't been.
That's true.
But our current government is trying desperately to change that.
Google Images just makes no sense.
By the way, I have found my new favorite YouTube channel.
What's that?
The Justin Trudeau Has to Go channel. It's pretty good.
Sounds fun.
Are we going to do the Justin Trudeau flubs question on assault weapons? Or
did I skip? I totally skipped a piece of... I'm sorry, guys. I skipped an article because it was a YouTube link, and I'm like, Marty, I didn't click on it.
If If you want
Anyway,
to
let's talk
because clearly
I was like,
clearly that works.
No. I mean, it does work, but also, I'm like, wow, we really got through all that news really fast. That's amazing. I must be more inebriated than I thought I was. But also, we haven't talked about guns yet. So, allow us to hear from the shiniest of ponies.
Brian Lilly, Toronto Sun. The whole area of the GTA has been dealing with gun violence. If you saw the headlines over the weekend, there were a pile more shootings, and there's no area of the GTA that isn't affected by it. But the last several days, you keep talking about a ban on AR-15s. Those are not the firearms that are being used in shootings across the region. We're talking about smuggled or stolen handguns. So why the push to ban a rifle that has no real history of being used as a crime gun when the problem is quite clearly something else?
No real history of the assault weapon that was used in the Polytechnique massacre, the assault weapon that was used in Sainte-Foy, the assault weapons that are used across the border in the United States almost on a weekly basis to kill the largest number of the largest number of citizens possible in the shortest amount of time. There is no place for assault weapons in Canada, and we are going to move forward on banning them. We are also going to move forward on allowing our cities to restrict and ban handguns, because the time for thoughts and prayers across this country from politicians is over. We need to strengthen gun control in this country, and the choice is clear. Liberals are going to strengthen gun control. Conservatives want to weaken gun control.
That was an impassioned answer, but like Katie, you didn't really answer because I was talking about Canada. So let me try a different tack. Can you describe to me the difference between the AR-15 that you want to ban and the hundreds of different models of rifles that will still be legal under your plan? I mean, your plan says ban the AR-15. There will still be hundreds of rifles that you will be able to buy legally that operate the same way. So can you explain the difference?
You're actually getting at one of the core differences between the Liberals and the Conservatives' approach on this issue. Not only do Liberals want to strengthen gun control and Conservatives want to weaken them, but we believe that the definitions and the choice around classification of guns should be done by experts, by members of the RCMP. The Conservatives think politicians should be in the business of deciding which model and which gun needs to be banned or not. Well, we know what Stephen Harper did for many years around weakening gun laws because politicians had that decision to make. And we committed in 2015 that we would give back to experts, to the RCMP, the responsibility of classifying in an objective and responsible way guns in this country, because we believe in experts, not in politicians making the decisions around which guns are acceptable and are not. That is why when we move forward on banning assault weapons, we move forward on enabling cities to restrict handguns, we're going to be trusting the experts to make the determinations in terms of which guns are which.
Code for no.
The longest 3 minutes and 21 seconds of my fucking life.
Do you remember that
need more
scene in
drama
Billy
for
Madison when Adam Sandler was supposed to answer the question, and afterwards the teacher just said that answer made absolutely no sense, and they'd go ahead and burn you on your soul?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
You were awarded no points. And may God have mercy on your soul.
Everyone is now dumber for having heard it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sweet fucking baby Jesus.
Let's try to unpack that. First off,
did
he say that the AR-15 was used in the Paul se souvient?
Yeah, he named a bunch of them. They're all
Yes.
not AR-15 shootings.
So
yeah.
the École Polytechnique one and the Sainte-Foy.
Sorry.
École Polytechnique and Sainte-Foy. Both not AR-15s. In fact, AR-15s have never been used in any crimes in this country, with the exception of when they've been stolen. Mostly from the police, but also the one time they were stolen from somebody that wasn't the police, which, as a reminder for everyone,
and And the one that was stolen was recovered.
Yeah,
it was. So
Yeah.
we have that awesome piece. I also enjoyed the flub about being used in America and killing citizens, Canadians, citizens every
more,
day.
exponentially more every day.
Well,
By the thousands.
who are we? Are we killing? Are we killing people, or are we killing Canadians? Because this is a relatively important distinction. Because I don't give a fuck what happens in America.
Yeah, newsflash: our laws are completely different when it comes to firearms.
We in
it
fact
could not be
don't
more opposite.
live
I really believe
in America.
And I mean, to be fair, the
To
storming
be fair,
to be fair, storming the Parliament was done with the Lever Action 3030. I mean, so is that an assault?
yeah. Well, they tricked that dumb fella into doing that on purpose because that was an opportunity to ban things that weren't semi-autos. But
I also want to be.
there.
I also want to be very clear here that us saying that using American statistics aren't valid here for Canada because our gun laws are very different. That's, I think, applying gun laws that we currently have are doing something.
Yeah.
Oh, the gun laws we have here do nothing.
Well,
it's a difference because it's a different country with different social issues, with different demographics, with it's an entirely different social structure.
What
are
you trying to tell
different
me?
gun laws.
Are you trying to tell me that socioeconomic structures impact the way that our laws work?
No.
The people within your society determines the success of your society.
Well, there's a whole lot of fucking people in my society that I'd like to throw out of a helicopter in Minecraft with due legal process.
All right,
but yeah. So according to
let's go. I'm trying to think of where did he go from there.
Well, he talked about
the RCMP trying to make the
RCMP being experts.
Yes, the Liberals believe that they want to give control over what firearms are classified as what and what firearms are banned to the RCMP versus what they, in his words, from the Conservatives, that they want to keep it under the control of politicians. That's one way of putting it is the Conservatives want to keep a level of accountability on the RCMP. And accountability.
No, I'm 100%. We should absolutely give the ability to classify firearms to experts in this country. The experts are not the Liberal Party and not the RCMP.
Yeah.
And if the RCMP are making laws and enforcing them, you have a police state.
I mean,
I would say anyone on this
podcast
is probably a bigger expert. Like one of us.
Never mind the whole police state. Never mind the fact that the RCMP writing and enforcing their own laws is its own problem. Let's deal with the fact that the Liberal Party wants to ban AR-15s while simultaneously saying that the RCMP should be the authority in classifying firearms in our country. The Liberal Party wants to ban AR-15s while simultaneously telling me that the RCMP should classify firearms in this country.
Yeah, it's.
Does anyone else see a problem with this dichotomy?
Yes.
He wants the RCMP to follow their direction.
Yes.
And like he said,
he clearly doesn't know what he's
then
talking
we can
about.
talk about all the nonsense with the police state and the rest of it. But like the fact that they're literally making a law to ban guns based on their appearance at the party level, while saying that the police should be the ones to have this authority. Fuck you and the Queen's Cowboys and the horse they rode in on. Like all of this. There's so many fallacies with that statement.
Well, it's wrong on very many levels. Like I said, it's the hardest 3 minutes and 21 seconds I think I've ever sat through. Because there's just so much wrong with everything that he says. Start to finish. Like you said, the thing I'm worried about the most is like police state.
Any 3 minutes you take of him talking, it's the same thing. I don't like.
But I mean, this one is especially personal. I mean, we're all quite, our lives kind of revolve around firearms as far as our pastimes and whatnot. So it's especially personal when he blabbers on with all these lies and bullshit. You know what I mean? as opposed to whatever, talking about foreign aid spending or something like that. We're a lot more removed from that subject.
I mean, we are, but it's still my tax dollars, and I still would like a party in this country or a politician in this country to not give my hard-earned money to people who didn't work.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, that's without a doubt.
So let's ask this question. So if it's apparently we want to leave the decision up to experts, why would we then allow municipal governments to decide whether they can ban or prohibit firearms within their municipalities?
Because Toronto has 2/3 of the seats in Ontario, and Ontario has 1/3 of the seats in the entire country.
And urban centers are always.
Hang on a second. Left. Are you saying this is not about public safety and it's about pandering for political reasons? Is that what you're implying here, sir?
I am expressly stating the fact that this is pandering for political reasons because municipalities have no say in federal law. Allow me to be very, very clear, completely unlike a politician. Municipalities, city governments do not, under any circumstances, get to dictate federal law in a serious country, which I fully admit that we don't live in a serious country.
How dare you, sir? I disavow your right-wing rhetoric.
I dare incredibly hard. I have stolen not only your childhood, but also your future. The same way as when I found out that gun shops don't sell machine guns nor grenade launchers.
Listen,
what?
Nobody?
As painted black male, I believe affects
shit.
And yeah, I got nothing.
What was your first point?
Your internet also didn't agree with you.
All right.
One of your pigeons has been shot down.
Thanks, RCMP.
Yeah, that's right. It's sitting outside his house watching the pigeons come and go and said, fuck that.
We got shot with a fully semi-automatic rifle of some sort.
With the shoulder thing that went up?
Yes. Pandering for votes because we need experts to make laws, but also municipalities should make laws.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, this is a pretty easy solution. As long as there is at least one municipality that wants my tax dollars, I'll live in that one.
Well, eventually, if all the gun owners leave cities and get out in the countryside, you can build that wall.
And then we can flood Toronto.
Yeah. It's a good idea. What should we call it Rhodesia?
Just call it not Toronto.
True.
But our lovely Augusto Pinochet General there said he mentioned the fact that because he mentioned Polytechnic, they're probably going out to the Mini 14, which was an oversight last time around. So he said, you can also expect all semi-autos to be banned. He's not wrong, but I mean, I think it's just for Trudeau, because he just doesn't know any better. He sees a Mini 14, he sees a 3030, they're all AR-15s. They just, to him, they're all the same. So he just mentioned the shooting because it panders to Quebec.
Yeah, all the ones he named were all French ones.
He didn't.
Did he name an English one?
He didn't talk about 4 RCMP officers in Mayerthorpe getting shot. He didn't talk about anything else out west because that was in Alberta.
Well, is Mayerthorpe even in Canada?
I don't know. It's in Alberta, so I don't.
He didn't even talk about the guy that got shot in Ottawa.
We could talk about the school shooting in La Loche that happened, but that's another no. You can't talk about that one.
No.
Yeah. So.
Well, that wasn't committed by a white supremacist.
That's right.
I do have a question about the Mini 14 though.
Why
have any of you guys seen
shit?
I was gonna ask, have any of you guys seen one with the factory folding stock for a reasonable price? Because the especially like the stainless factory folder looks super awesome, and I kind of want one.
Were you watching the A-Team episodes recently? Sorry, curiosity.
I mean, no, but I do know that's the A-Team gun, but like it looks cool with the factory folder. I know it's a piece of shit, but I still kind of want one.
I got bigger fish to fry right now. I've not been cruising the internet looking for Mini 14s.
I think I've only run across 2 Mini 14s in my life, and one guy had one in Nanaimo actually, but they're horrible. They really are.
Yeah, apparently the accuracy is just terrible with that.
It's along the lines of like the first generation XCRs. It's just like 4 MOA or worse.
Yeah.
Or worse. Ugh. Ugh. 4 MOA. As a precision guy, that shakes me to my core.
Yeah.
4
You
MOA.
kind of expect a 2 MOA, on something like that, but no.
Well, a standard AR-15 is 3.
Yeah.
So I can work with that.
Lame. Buy an IBI barrel.
Right. Working on it. Oh yeah, tune in for our elections podcast where I buy an IBI barrel when the Conservatives win.
And when I buy an IBI barrel, either way.
I believe that will coincide with the anniversary episode, won't it?
I'm really hoping to make the 200th episode the election episode, and we're going to live cast the result of the election. So put your whiskey in your coffee and stay up late, because that's what I'm going to do.
How long do we have to wait?
This is going to be like the last live cast election we did, where we got on tangents like Top Gun and stuff like that.
So I think we're probably going to start late and just watch Top Gun and then check in on the election when Top Gun finishes.
We say the whole movie for it if you want from start to finish.
We can watch the Top Gun 2 trailer as well as an intermission.
Yeah, so I don't know. We're going to do something election special for the election on the 21st of October. Get out and vote. Oh, also, I guess this is a thing, because I explained this to multiple people that didn't know this week. If you haven't voted yet, go and vote. Go to your polling place, not your polling place on election day, but go to your polling place that's open currently, because your riding has one, and ask the polling person for something called a special ballot. Tell them that you want to vote by special ballot, and then go and look up the name of the member of the Conservative Party that you plan to vote for. In my writing, it's very easy to spell. His name is John. Spelling actually counts in this, because in a special ballot, you need to correctly write out your candidate's name. Sorry to everyone who lives in Toronto.
But they also provide a list of the candidates' names to you. You just have to transpose it over to the ballot.
Assuming
Again, sorry to everyone that lives in Toronto.
Although they did that already, never mind. But if you went too early, you have to wait for them to be officialized or whatever.
Go and vote already.
Advanced
polls start Friday, though. What is the advantage to me to vote today versus to vote in a week from now? 2 weeks.
Because in a week from now, I'll be very, very inebriated.
Well, you avoid the lineups like a bread lineup type of thing, but also
lineups.
Oh,
you guys have lineups?
Huge lineups.
Hey, if you go in a Jewish section, there shouldn't be lineups because we all pre-voted because it's a Jewish holiday.
Interesting.
Yeah. See, my polling or my elections office is actually literally on the other side of a mountain range, so I have to wait till the advanced polls open on Friday. But
yeah. So for us, like, I think we're gonna vote the advanced polls, but even for us, like, if I go on an election night, I walk right in, vote, and leave. Like, there's not a lineup.
Oh, ours is like literally the last helicopter out off a rooftop in Saigon. It's crazy. It's out of hand.
Fortunate Son is one of my favorite songs.
Yes, I'm going to a school that is located on a dirt road to vote.
That is probably the best kind of school.
Probably conservative as fuck.
Yeah, my region has been conservative for like 30 years straight.
Yes.
Keep it up.
Yeah, and hopefully Halton pulls through and we get Lisa Rayett back in, because we have been conservative despite the riffraff moving in.
Well, on a happy note, like this is the first time in my life I've ever not lived in a conservative riding, including Ontario, and actually it's a very tight race supposedly, and nicely enough, the People's Party of Canada candidate, who was polling at like 2% or whatever, he backed out and said to support the candidate for the Conservative Party. So I'm like, oh, good, at least no vote splitting.
That's very noble of him, actually.
Yeah,
I commend that.
It's too tight of a race. He says I can't fuck it up, so he gracefully stepped out and said, "Before the advance polls open, I'm out of here."
Perhaps there is a
Well,
God.
let's move into the rapid fire feedback because that is a worthy discussion that's about to come up. So the first one we're going to deal with from Todd regarding convenient confederation, which I think was our last episode. Todd says, "Guys, great title. Now, how is it going to dissolve? I think geographically, Canada is a series of Eastern welfare provinces, a country within a country, a globalist wet dream urbanized shithole known as the 905 in traditional Canada. The only way for traditional Canada to survive is dissolving the Union. We can fight this election and maybe retain our rights, but demographics and immigration favors Liberals over the long term. Time for a central Canadian republic. I nominate Andrew for Prime Minister, Gavin as Minister of Defense, Ian as Industry and Agriculture, Tim as Leader of CSIS. Fuck Trudeau."
I didn't even get a cabinet position.
It's okay. We all know you're the man behind the power, Benny.
Don't you guys run Hollywood or something as it is? I mean, come on.
It's fine. I'll just be in charge of like special forces. It's fine.
I'm a little bit annoyed that we put Gavin in charge of national defense, but I can
Agreed.
forgive
I was thinking
that.
the same thing.
Agreed. I love you, Gavin.
I'd like
to
have a defense that can hit what they're shooting at.
Wow. All right. Shots
It's not
fired in
even
Gavin's
trying to
direction.
sugarcoat it. Fuck you, Gavin.
Yeah, no, I think we talked about this a little bit before, that the Central Canadian Republic, the Western Canadian, whatever we're going to be, Western Canada exit, whatever that thing is going to be that Alberta spearheads after the election, I am 100% on board and currently looking at property to move to in the great state of Alberta.
Great thing about my job, there's Freightliner dealerships everywhere, including Edmonton, Calgary, and Vancouver.
I can commute from anywhere.
Yep.
I'm sure.
As long as they have the internet, I'm good.
I have friends in Alberta as well, so if I need a little bit of time to get on my feet, it's not a big deal. It will happen.
Fuck all you guys. I'm a little screwed.
You can come with me, Marty. I'm sure we can find you.
Marty, you have
couch.
a lot of marketable skills.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone else that is a gas fitter, plumber, electrician, small engine mechanic.
/ screw saver.
And
That's true.
Except I don't do any of those things as a career, though.
But you could, and that's what counts.
That's right. You got that try hard attitude.
As far as you
My
know,
gas license is going to waste.
the new the Central Canadian Republic, you don't need a license to be a plumber.
True.
So,
I mean, that whole college thing was thrown right in the garbage.
I'm going to go ahead and decline the offer to be the Prime Minister of Western Canada, and I'm just going to speak for Gavin and say that he's not going to be allowed to be the Minister of Defense for reasons.
Actually, to be fair, if you're going to be a minister of anything, if you're going to be a minister of anything, you got to know what you're talking about. So maybe agriculture and transportation is what I'll take. Screw the industry.
Ian, have you been paying attention to politics?
Yeah, I know.
It seems like you have not been paying attention to politics.
I know. It's an appointment thing. I know. You don't actually have to know what you're doing to be the minister or something. But
no, you just have to show an interest in it at the meeting.
It's funny, you look nothing like Bradish Chagger.
Yeah, in the Western Canadian Republic, you'll have to actually have skills and knowledge about the portfolio you're about to take over.
Perhaps even prior experience in said field.
Could be that too. Dare to dream.
Dare to dream, right? Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it happens, but I don't want to say that I hope we dissolve this country, but I'm kind of at the point where I think that's the best outcome, is that we let Toronto be its own thing and the rest of us leave. And I'm all for Quebec separatism. Let them be their own thing right after they pay their debt back.
Yep.
Actually, you know what? It'd almost be worth it just to write off that debt. Let them just leave, and we can pay it back faster with no transfer, with not doing transfer payments.
You know what? That's
also
a
a valid
good point.
choice.
Not doing transfer payments is actually a very acceptable outcome in my mind.
Yeah.
Speed up the process. Just get the fuck out.
That's right. Make the drive to the East Coast 2 days shorter.
Yeah, but then there's
what?
going to be a third world nation that we give them money to.
No, we're not. We're cutting foreign spending, remember?
Yeah, starting with them.
Yes, hostile nations, which I think we can consider the French hostile nation.
Agreed. They don't even want to speak English.
Yeah. We'll start giving you some money when you put stop signs up.
Yeah, that don't say arrête. Even France doesn't say arrête, you fucktards.
Exactly.
This is why I don't abide by arrête signs in that province.
And even in France, you can turn right on a red too.
Yeah. I feel like Quebec is the only place in the world you can't turn right on a red.
Only Montreal.
It is only Montreal. Yep.
Is it actually? I thought it was the whole province.
No,
No, it's definitely a Montreal thing.
Idiots. Embarrassed to have family from there.
I'm embarrassed to hear that you have family from there. Let's do another email. We've got one from Eric.
Yeah.
I listened to your
before we became friends.
Shit.
No. Tabernacle.
Collis. Sucker blue.
All right, email from Eric. I listened to your new podcast and I just wanted to email my opinion on it. I was not able to find time to get on the show. However, I can email you the main reason for voting PPC. I'm voting PPC with the knowledge that it will split the vote because the current conservatives are not conservative, and if we want a long-term real change in this country, we need to vote in that direction. My hope is that the PPC will get enough seats to hold balanced power with the conservatives. Therefore, the conservatives will have to compromise with the PPC to get anything passed. The Conservative Party, at the end of the day, wants to get elected, and if becoming a more right-wing will do that, then they will do that. The PPC incentivizes the Conservatives to put more in PPC policies. The biggest reason I want PPC to win is their plan for healthcare, and they will be huge to get rid of the ridiculous federal sales tax. Well, I apologize to Eric because I know I didn't do a good job of reading that. Reference the whiskey from earlier. Also, I realized there were spelling mistakes from the copy and pasting I did. And also, you're wrong.
Well,
I
think he's right, but the problem is
Nope.
that as gun owners, there's so much on the line. We can't afford to try and
not even as gun owner, Benny.
Right.
No.
The vote
as
splitting
a
on
taxpayer.
the right. The Conservative Party and the PPC Party, there is no opportunity on this election, probably in any election, for the PPC to hold a viable number of seats to have the balance of power with any minority government. The PPC is not a significant contribution to potential coalition governments in this country. They straight up are not. They're polling at less than 3%.
Did they win any seats in the last election?
No.
In the last election.
They're a new party. They didn't exist in the last election.
Well, I mean libertarians in general. I know there was one on my ballot last election.
Oh, libertarians, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And even if we said that all of the libertarian votes, all the independent votes are going to PPC, they're only vote splitting off the conservatives. You're not seeing a reduction in polling with Ipsos Reid or any of the other three major polling institutions with left-leaning parties. The conservatives, as I said earlier on this podcast, I've said it in previous podcasts, my position is that the conservatives in Canada are not a right-wing party. They are slightly to the left of center.
I'd make the argument that PPC is not a right-leaning party.
No, the PPC party is, with the exception maybe of actual libertarians, which we don't have, reference capital L libertarians in this country, the libertarians are a relatively center-center party. The PPC is a relatively center-center party. The Conservative Party is a slightly left-of-center party in this country. We do not have a right-wing party. There is no right-wing party. If we did have a right-wing party, there would be people that were rallying against things like, say, going into debt to finance other countries' signs to not shit on beaches.
Problem is in the entire
abortion.
Or city of Toronto would call them Nazis.
Exactly.
It's a price to pay for salvation.
Right. And it's like, here, it is no secret that majority of the members of this podcast supported Bernier's quest at conservative leadership, at the Conservative Party leadership. And he did not win that bid. And a large reason as to why he did not win that bid was his...
Because they cheated?
I wouldn't say that. It's that whether or not I don't think there's honestly I don't think there was any cheating that happened. That's bullshit. He's unelectable. Even as slightly to the right, even as slightly more to the right than what our current Conservative Party is, makes him unelectable in a general election. Scheer, at this point, might be too far to the right to be electable in a general election. And he is as like milquetoast as it gets. Yes. And that might be still too scary for our general population today to go conservative. It's just the state that we're at. So like in order to be elected in Canada, it's a right-leaning party. The way our current populace is, the way our current demographics are, the way our current population is leaning, the only way to get, and the only thing we're doing at this point is delaying the inevitable, but at least we're delaying it. And that's what's happening on this election is you have a choice to either vote conservative and try to buy us a few more years or vote liberals.
Vote liberals and what?
Marty?
Oh, yeah. Lost. Oh. Yep.
Say motherfucker, that gets your internet back. I know it does.
Motherfucker.
It totally worked.
Yeah.
Okay, continue from vote liberals and go.
And basically burn it down faster.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's our society. Like we can vote conservative and go to a slow death or vote conservatives and just fucking burn her down.
Vote liberals, you mean?
Or vote liberals and burn her down, yeah.
Just a quick theoretical for you guys. Is there a downside to voting in urban Quebec for the PPC? Because, I mean, we're never going to get conservative there anyway. But that's about the only place I could see voting PPC being a no harm done thing. But
if you are not in a riding that has anything resembling the chance of a conservative win, then yes, no harm done. Because if you're in a riding that's polling at like 90% NDP, it's still London North. London North, I'm looking at you.
Looking at you, homos.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey.
Yeah.
So here's the question. There has been some talk about like if you are in a riding that is essentially conservatives have no chance, but it's a close NDP liberal. Do you vote NDP to try to create a minority government?
Strategic voting, split voting, this is all like, it's very complicated and theoretical, and it's very hard to do based on the polling data that we have. We don't have good information to work off of. But if you're in a historically NDP-ish riding, I would say fuck their shit up. Go for it. Because the NDP doesn't have a chance of forming a minority government in this country. So London North, Hamilton Wentworth, Surrey, give her. 100% give her. Like, well, why not? What's the worst they're gonna get 3 seats, they're gonna get 6 seats, they're not gonna be able to do anything. And if they form some sort of minority coalition, then we're no worse off than we were before, because if they had a minority or a majority, we're still in the same boat where they're going to do whatever crazy communist leftism they're going to do.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm kind of at the point where let's have a little accelerationism, because I'm not getting any old, any younger. I'm in reasonably good shape. I'm the best armed I've ever been. So if we're going to do it, let's do it.
I'd like some more years to stock up more ammo.
Nope, I have more ammo than my local police force. I feel like I'm in relatively
I definitely have that.
I think each one of us has better equipment than the military. Gives personal issues too. So I mean, yeah.
Well, and proven fact that I can shoot better than the majority of our active military members.
Yep.
So yeah, if we're gonna do this, like let's do this. I'm all for some accelerationism at this point. If you're in a riding that it's a safe liberal or a safe NDP riding, yeah, vote PPC. Why not? Give her. If you're in anything that could even potentially look like it might be conservative, don't vote split. You're being a jackass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And back to like my writing, like at least the guy did the right thing and said, no, it's not worth it, because he said it was like literally 0.1% off of liberal or conservative, the current polling. So he wanted to maximize the chance of the conservative getting in because it's better than the alternative. And it's been running.
And that's kind of the thing is like a conservative government would be the least offensive form of government that I can think of. Like if we're gonna have a party form of government, the conservative government is the least offensive form of government that I can have in this country right now, or I guess in 12 days, whatever. But I don't particularly like them. I don't like their leader, and I don't like their policy, and they are not actually conservative. But that's still better than them like trying to physically confiscate my property, shoot me, or put me in jail, which is what the other parties want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, okay. Let me address Eric's. Try to address Eric's comment or the sentiment of his thing in terms of ideologue voting. He doesn't want to vote conservative because they don't he doesn't agree with their plan. He doesn't want to vote liberals because he doesn't agree with their plan. So he he identifies strongest with the plan of PPC. Whether or not that even though they may not be what he wants, let's say they're better than what the Conservative Party. And so he believes that he should vote with whatever he identifies the strongest with. I get it. I get it, and it's the problem here is you have to take a step back and look at it from a larger sort of field of view. So I get it that the PPC is offering more along the lines in terms of policy of what you agree with. But the problem is it's not about voting for necessarily who offers you, who is saying the most things that you agree with. The problem, what you're voting for is what government do you want running? And if they're not a government, if they don't have a chance of becoming the government, then there's no point voting for them. So you need to look.
This is a problem with the way that we do our government. And if we could have abolished first past the post and done, I don't know, literally anything that the Liberal government promised to do when they came into power, which I guess is hyperbole because they did accomplish some of the things they set out to do, but nothing to do with like reforming how we have elections in this country that they had set out for.
The problem is they didn't do that they didn't do that intellectually honest. They only had one outcome accepted, which was was ranked ballot.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with fuck that. I don't like ranked ballot.
Because ranked ballot guarantees liberals for every election. And when that did not come out as the favorite after all the research, they got pissed off and scrapped the whole idea.
Which is still the most desirable outcome for me, but if we could be represented in this country in a sensible way by people who actually represented us,
type of thing. Yeah.
If we could have an actual, I would settle for Athenian democracy. Let every landowning man with weapons and armor cast a vote.
We'd be better off. That is a superior solution to what we have today.
Well, almost anything is a superior solution to what we have today because we're letting people that are not invested in this country vote in how this country gets run. We have
it's a hard thing. Like I see this guy's comments and I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like I understand. Like there is
say motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Every time.
Yeah.
Shit.
So again, I get it. Like, if the PPC is offering him more along what he believes than the CPC, you feel values. But you have to look at it from a strategic point of view in terms of who's going to govern this country.
Want blackface, or do you want a semblance of sanity?
Honestly, at this point, I'm really kind of into the accelerationism at this point. Let's have some communism and let some people that didn't plan appropriately go hungry.
The problem is that it takes decades.
No. Look at Venezuela. It didn't take decades.
It took 30 years.
No. It really took 6 years.
I can wait 6 years. I won't be 40 yet. I can wait 6 years.
It's exponential, but it takes. You got to get through that low growth curve first.
You mean kind of like being a oil wealthy country with a simmering debt, and then as soon as the oil takes a plunge, things go haywire, and you get a bad person in charge of the country. Kind of sounds familiar.
I feel like I've read this somewhere.
That sounds awfully familiar.
Yeah.
I read that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Venezuela had like a good chunk of the world's oil reserves as well, and yet lo and behold, they can't make money.
Fastest growing GDP.
Yeah, they were actually the jewel of the continent for a while too. I mean, they were considered to be the most polite country going down there, the least corrupt, and everything.
Like Rwanda?
Yeah, it's just.
I was gonna make a Rwanda joke. Damn it!
Yeah. I'm looking for some parallels there. Yeah. That's,
weird how that happens.
All so we gotta make sure we just need more genocides.
No, we just need a leader that doesn't want to give up power. Oh wait. Oh yeah.
Wait a second. Yeah. Again, that sounds very familiar. Trudeau for 1,000.
I mean, our current glorious leader is not talking to birds like Maduro is right now, but yeah, he's getting there.
I believe we're having plenty of like shut down the inquiries type things going on right now, and we want the police to make all the rules. So I think we're well on our way if we keep down this path. Well on our way. Maybe we might set a new record instead of 6. Why not 3? Like faster.
I'm gonna need a bigger helicopter.
You need more bullets.
No, I'm okay on that.
I need more. I definitely need more. I'm definitely not prepared as of yet.
I want more, but I feel adequately prepared at this point.
I think that especially there's gonna be some orders going in real quick. I mean, I'm probably not gonna be the only one on October 21st if it doesn't go well.
I mean,
as far as order,
I kind of feel like we're a little bit behind the 8 ball on this. If you're not already prepared, you're probably not going to get prepared.
I'm not worried about the October 21st deadline at all. That's for sure.
No, I mean, there's time. Like, it's not going to happen overnight.
Oh, the ban hammer won't come down same day. So.
Yeah, no, but like if you don't already have the ammunition and the arms stockpiled, you probably aren't going to manage to sort that out.
I got the arms, just need the ammunition stockpiling. A little low.
Reloading's an option.
I can reload. I still need projectiles. Like I need the actual parts. But that can be solved in a week, like less than. Local trip to your sporting goods store.
And with that, guys, I wish you good night. Have a good one.
Okay. Bye, Benny. We should probably do the rest of the outros. That's as good of time as any. Go around the screen here. Ian, where can everyone find you on the internet?
You can reach me by email at theislandretreat@gmail.com. Maybe down the road, it might be the Prairie Retreat. We'll see how that works.
Benny left. You should check out Benny's website, bennylewis.ca. Buy some stuff from him. He's got some books. He's got some firearms stuff. He does some training. It's a good time. Dave, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on the IGs at Diesel6223. And also, if you want to come to my PR matches, last one of the year in a couple weeks, FYI, give me an email at oraprecision@gmail.com if you want to get on some long-range fun.
All right. Marty, where can everybody find the show?
You can visit us at CanadianPatriotPodcast.com/feedback or email us at feedback@CanadianPatriotPodcast.com. and let us know what you think.
If anyone's looking for me, you can find me drinking at Montgomery's Tavern Monday nights, 9, YouTube, etc. And I have to apologize to Rod Giltaka. He's busy driving the Bang bus across the country, so he couldn't be with us this evening.
Road trip.
Bang bus.
Get on the bus.
Free candy, kids.
Oh, I wouldn't want to see the Bill Blair episode if that was truly the case, but anyway.
You can lure
Plot
Trudeau in
twist,
there.
Bill Blair's the one giving it out.
Let Trudeau know you have lots of costumes to try on. You could probably lure him in there.
A plane worth of costumes.
Yeah, you might need another bus for that. Or two.
For all of our listeners out there in podcast land, I'll take this opportunity to remind you that you are the true North, strong and free.